My name is Christel Johnson, and my story starts with a phone call.
With over 40,000 people served last year alone, the staff at Family Tree could tell you dozens of issues that may lead to a person becoming homeless. Among them are domestic violence, mental health issues, drug use, and an inability to work due to disabilities. But Christel Johnson has had to struggle through all of these and more.
My past includes a lot of bad decisions. Cocaine and alcohol use during my late teens and early 20s. The birth of my 3 eldest children, who I was completely unprepared to care for, and a consistent life of partying. But it all came to an end when I lost custody of my 3 kids. I knew my life had to change. By then, I was ready to grow up and remove myself from the chaos.
Christel stopped using drugs. She committed herself to building a relationship with her children and was able to obtain her GED and associate's degree in restaurant management. She turned things around. Sadly, life threw her a curveball.
It was 2004 when my nephew was shot and killed due to gang violence. The loss changed everything for me. I went into a complete depression. The details are a little fuzzy, but I remember going to the train station on my way to my nephew's funeral, blacking out, only to wake up in a mental institution.
Christel had experienced a psychotic break due to the trauma of her nephew's death. She was hospitalized for 4 days and diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. Christel's health issues didn't end there. She also suffers from congestive heart failure and cardiomyopathy.
My health issues has definitely been an obstacle. And I believe my mental health played a huge part in some of my poor decisions.
Christel was living in Illinois when she entered into a relationship with a man she knew for many years. As she describes it, he wined and dined her in the beginning, and she believed she found a great man to share her life with. But after about 6 months into the relationship, things began to change.
Looking back on it now, I believe he was controlling from the very first day. But I was young and in love, and I mistook his jealousy as love and the fear of him losing me. At the same time, he was slowly isolating me from my family and friends. He constantly told me all the reasons why they didn't care about me as much as he did.
The manipulation and control worked, and after giving Christel a final ultimatum, it's either me or your family, her boyfriend convinced her to move herself and her youngest daughter to Colorado with him.
Although I had lived with a lot of mental and emotional abuse, I was surprised how quickly things escalated once we came to Colorado. His controlling ways became even worse. One night after I returned home a little late, he threw a shoe at me. I knew things had reached a breaking point then, and I knew I had to get out of there.
The next morning, after her perpetrator had left for work, Christel packed up the bare essentials and with the help of a neighbor headed to the train station. Her plan was to get back to Illinois. Her plan was to get back home.
But as I sat at the train station, I realized I didn't have a home to go home to. I had broken all ties with my family, even though they constantly tried to warn me about his abusive ways. As my 4-year-old daughter sit next to me, asking me, "Where are we gonna go, Mommy?" I could only look at her and just say, "I don't know." But I knew we had to find somewhere safe to go before he realized we were gone.
Before making the move to Colorado, Christel was given the opportunity to talk with one of her closest cousins. As they packed her things, a commercial came on TV for the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Jokingly, her cousin told her to remember that number because one day she would need it.
1-800-799-SAFE popped in my head, and I immediately made that phone call at the train station. Once I got the advocate on the phone, she promised me that she wouldn't get off the phone with me till she found a safe place for me and my daughter to go. However, everything in Denver was filled, and she did just that. Next stop, Family Tree, Women in Crisis.
Christel arrived at Women in Crisis feeling grateful and confident that she had found a safe place to stay, and now she would have time to develop a plan to secure housing. But after speaking with an advocate, Christel was informed that Women in Crisis is an emergency shelter and the maximum stay is 30 days.
I immediately felt defeated. How would I be able to find housing and a job in only just 30 days? Why was this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? I only knew one thing to do, to get down on my knees and pray.
The next day, Christel made a vow to do whatever it took to get safe, permanent housing for her and her daughter. For 5 weeks, Christel's schedule consisted of traveling to at least 2 housing programs each day, along with completing and mailing applications to programs she could not physically travel to. it was the perfect time to ask for help from Family Tree's Housing and Family Services.
On November 1st, 2011, Christel was approved for Helen's Hope, a Family Tree Housing and Family Services program. The program provides immediate housing assistance for women living at Women in Crisis. 10 days later, Christel moved into our Marshall Street North Transitional Housing Program, and together we continued her search for permanent housing.
Christel's first priority continues to be securing permanent housing, but with the help of Cassie and the Housing and Family Services staff, Christel is also focused on maintaining good physical and mental health, going back to school to study nutrition, and obtaining a part-time job.
My health had created a number of problems that made it difficult for me to secure a job. But I know I'm smart, and I know I got valuable skills. I want to feel needed. I want to make a difference in other people's lives, the way Cassie has made a difference in my life.
Christel's motivation is contagious. You want to help her because she wants to help herself. I'm encouraged by her persistence and work ethic, and I'm confident that together we will reach all of her goals.
I will never give up on myself, and I know that this process will work if I continue to work it. I'm so thankful to Cassie for believing in me, always listening to me, and always going to bat for me.
Today, Christel is still on the path to becoming safe, strong, and self-reliant, and is already a perfect role model for Family Tree clients beginning their journey.
My name is Christel Johnson, and no matter what your situation may be, you can succeed. With the help of Family Tree and God, it is possible. Thank you, Family Tree.